Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the People's Resource Center. Welcome to Technology Tuesdays. My name is Robin O'Neill, and today we're here to talk about Microsoft OneDrive. So for today, what we'll do is we'll look at a short presentation, a short PowerPoint on OneDrive. Then we'll look at 2 YouTube videos, and then we'll actually go out to OneDrive to take a look at my OneDrive. So looking at our PowerPoint presentation, Microsoft OneDrive is not new, although some people still aren't using it. It's cloud storage. It was launched by Microsoft back in 2007. Its name to some was known as SkyDrive, and then they changed it to OneDrive. So what is it used for? This is fabulous. It's free cloud storage, and what that means is that it's web-based. No flash drive is needed. Everyone's used to carrying that flash drive with them. When I was leaving today, I reminded myself that I just didn't need it. I could go without it. You get 15 gigabytes of totally free storage for anything that you have, whether it's your photos, files, folders, or any documents that you create. It includes free Microsoft Online. And I wanted to mention that they use the term online, and what that means is you get Word, Excel, and PowerPoint in your Microsoft OneDrive. Now that's different than the one that may be on your computer, but it's not imitation software. It's the software you know, and that's why you'll really like it. When you go to look at anything in Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, it'll be icons that you recognize, and that will help you to move quickly through it. So how is it used? Example number 1. In the past, when you worked on a project during the day and you wanted to finish it at home, you would have to attach and email the document to yourself, or you would save it to a flash drive. Now you simply open your OneDrive and press an upload button, and you can take your OneDrive and close it out where you're at, and then you go home, open it up on your computer or any computer, and you can work on the document that you were working on during the day. Example number 2, students love all of these technologies because in the past what they would have to do when emailing with teachers is email, attach, open, resend, and it was just so much work. Now all they do is click a share button and they're in contact. It's just so much easier, especially for students. Collaborate with others. This is really great. In the past, to get input from others, you would design something, send it to them, whether it be your presentation or your Excel document, and you would wait for feedback. They would put in their comments and send it back to you. Now you can collaborate with someone simply by opening, clicking on share, and listing their email address, and then that person can open it, and you can be working in real time, live time, together, each typing. And they say that while that seems like it would be difficult, that it's really the way to go. It's so much easier when you're working on something together rather than working on it separately. So how do you get it? It's easy to get. OneDrive live.com is their link. So that's a Hotmail, a Microsoft account, or Windows 8 or above automatically has it. So all you have to do is sign in. Here's a picture of their sign in or their sign up, and you're in. And if you want to use any other email address, you can. And it's so wonderful because it truly does. It just takes minutes and you have it. Okay, this is another great part. You can choose to sync things. And so if you have an iPhone, or if you're using a tablet of some type, you can click the sync button, and we'll show you that in a few minutes. And what will happen then, all your files will be synced. So, and you can also choose not to sync. So you may say, I only want these 2 or 3 files to be synced, and you can choose that as well.
Sync to what?
It says you can sync by downloading the app. So if I am at my computer and I am working on something and I want that same file to be on my iPhone, or not my iPhone, my phone, this is an Android, I can click a sync button and have the 2 sync. And so that way I can look at something during the day on my phone, or maybe I use a tablet and I could look at it there as well. So you get to choose what files you would like to be shared on both devices. This is a fetch feature, which is really nice. So you may have some files at home and you don't want everything to go with you, but you're now at work and you draft, so you forgot that file and you really want it. If your computer is left on and you have an internet connection, there's a way where you can do a right click on the OneDrive icon, and I'll show you that will be in the lower right hand corner of your screen. There'll be the little cloud, and if you do a right click, it'll be a fetch feature, and you can go and call up the files that are on your computer at home and take the file that you want. So that's really nice. Okay, one of the best features is the Excel survey. You can create surveys and then forward them to the recipients that you want. The nice thing about it and the beauty of the technology is that Excel will tabulate the results for you. So for example, if you have a reunion or an office meeting, in the past you would send out an email saying you are invited to the meeting or you're invited to the reunion. Please let us know if you're coming and who will be coming with you, where will you be staying. And so now you simply fill out a form and it asks those questions. You can either email that to the individuals or you can get a link for the form and embed that link in Facebook, Twitter, or a blog, wherever you'd like. And once the recipient fills that in, on your side, you will see an Excel spreadsheet automatically created with the information that you've asked. So that's great. So we're going to take a look at that tutorial now. This is a short, it's maybe like 6 minutes.
Hello, I'm going to go through a quick tutorial on how to create an Excel survey. We're starting at the www.office.com website. This is Microsoft's free online service for Office products. It includes Word, OneNote, Excel, etc. I'm going to just jump right in, click OneDrive. I've already created an account, so it takes me right in. If you didn't have an account, it would ask you to create a free account. Once you're on this main screen, at the top left-hand side, you'll see something called Create. When you click Create, you'll see a listing of things that you can create online. Click Excel Survey. This will open up Excel Online and let you create an Excel survey by showing you an entry form on what you want to call your survey. So this is the title of the survey. Then you can put a short description here describing a survey and provide some guidance to your users. Please answer the following questions. Then it presents you the first question to ask. Once you highlight it, you'll see a gear shows and shows you all the editing options for your first question. So here you'll say, what is your favorite color? And then we can have a subtitle. Please pick from the list. And then we can provide the user a way of answers that we want. So we can say create an open text, a paragraph of text, let them pick a number, a date, a time, a yes, no, or a choice. I'm going to let them pick a choice. So red, green, blue. And we can also make it a mandatory field. We can also set a default value. I'm going to just click done. So that's your first question. Let's add another question and say, what is your name? Please give us your first and last name as their help. And we'll leave this as regular text and click done. Now we realize that we may want to make this the first question. So we can do things like drag this question to make it the first question, so that becomes the first question we ask and then the second. Once we're done, we can save and view. And this will preview what it is that we're going to be surveying our users. Or we can just go here and share it right from here. Let's click and save and view first. When you save and view, it'll now present to you what the survey would look like when it's sent out to your users. So this is what they would see inside their web browser. So what is your name and what is your favorite color with a choice? And then they'll be able to submit it. So let's just close this for now. What we'll notice now is that for every question that was entered in the survey, Excel has automatically created a column of each of those questions, and with entries that will come in from the people who enter in the surveys will automatically be populated right into this Excel spreadsheet. And so this list will grow over time. So let's just go back into the survey options, and you'll see up here on Excel Online, you'll have this new feature called Survey. You will not see this on the Excel desktop. It's only in the Excel Online. When we click Survey, we can view the survey, we can edit it, or we can then go ahead and proceed to share the survey. So let's go ahead and click Share Survey. You'll see a wizard that says, what would you like to do? We're about to create a link for your survey. So let's say Create Link. This will go and generate a unique link for you. And you can see it's pretty long and quite an ugly key. So we can click Shorten Link, and that'll shorten it to a smaller OneDrive shortcut. So now we can take this and copy this and click Done. And now we can paste and send this off into an email message and whatnot. Okay. If I click Share Survey again, you'll see that it still has it listed here. So we can always go back to see what that was, and again we can shorten it again if we needed to create that link. Okay. The other thing that you can do is for the people or other colleagues who you'd want to have access to the results, because the people with that link do not have access to the results of the survey. So when you click Share Survey and you send someone this link of the survey, it is only to let them fill in the survey. It's not letting them see the results of the survey from everyone. This Excel spreadsheet is protected and no one else can see it but you. If you wanted to share this Excel spreadsheet to see what the results are with more than one person, you would click the word Share here at the top, and this will give you a set of options of what you want to do. You can either invite people, so you can type in their email address, and anyone who's been sent this email address will have the capability of editing it. And you can click here to see further options. So let's say we said, okay, Bill Gates at Microsoft.com, and we wanted him to edit this. We could do that, but we could also say that they don't need a Microsoft account to edit this document. As long as they have this link, they're able to edit it. Or we can put tighter security and say they must have a Microsoft account, and then typically in that case you'd want to make sure that this address is a Microsoft account itself, or know that they have a Microsoft account. If they don't, they'll be asked to create one and it'll be associated to this non-Microsoft account. Alternatively, what you could do is you could just say get a link, and you can say a view-only link, an editable link, or a public link. If you do this, then the link it generates, let's say I create a view-only link and I say create, this will create me a link now that I can again shorten, or I can send this link as is, and whoever has this link will now have view capabilities to the results of the form. So that's this Excel spreadsheet here. Okay, so let's go through, and I'm just going to copy this link. I'm going to open up another tab, and I am going to pretend I am a regular user. So this is what a user would see when they open up that survey. So Jim Bo, and red is my favorite color. I'm going to click Save, and it says thanks, your response was received. If I go back to Excel now, you'll notice that automatically it's been already entered into the Excel spreadsheet. So what's really cool is if you open up this Excel Online and you send out the survey, you can literally sit here and watch the entries come in, and they'll come in live and you'll see the updates live. So that's how to create a survey.
So that's a wonderful thing. I think that really helps when you're in a position where you want to do something personal for a large number of people or at work, because it'll tally and track everything for you. File management. Once the OneDrive app is downloaded, you can drag and drop files, you can copy and paste or upload. So once you open your OneDrive and you have files on your computer, you can drag and drop the files into your OneDrive, or you can click an upload button, and I'll show you what that looks like. Documents can be embedded to the web. No more attaching and emailing. You simply share files by entering an email address, or you get a link to your files if you want, and you can put that link, let's say you had a Word document, you can copy and paste that link in a blog, web page, or anything like that, Twitter, Facebook, any of the links to your documents. PRC students can upload all of the training resource files and open them at home to do their homework. So usually when we're in the classroom doing something, many of the students will do that. They'll open up their drive and upload the file that they need, or the folder, and then work on those during the week at home. The other thing that's nice about this is you can use the other apps like Camscanner. So technology keeps changing and it keeps getting better. So Camscanner is to scan things to your iPhone or your tablet. And typically what happens is, when you're trying to take a picture of something like a bill or a receipt, you can't quite get it correctly. You take a picture and the corners are a little twisted or it's off center. Camscanner lets you take a short free stint with them, and then it's a small fee for I think about $5 a month. It's great for business owners because if you want to take a copy of a receipt, it'll crinkle out the edges and make it a perfect copy and file it in the right spot. So if you're in business, it's I think one of the really good apps that you can have for a real small price. All right, and then we'll take one more look at a OneDrive tutorial, and then we'll actually go out to my OneDrive.
We're going to take a look today at OneDrive by Microsoft. And this is a service that used to be called SkyDrive. I find it to be a very convenient, useful service. As it says here, it's one place for everything in your life. It's meant to be a way for you to store and easily share the documents, photos, and just about anything else that you use. And these are stored in the cloud. In many ways, it's similar to Dropbox or Google Drive. And Microsoft has put together a comparison for us to see how these different services compare to each other. As you can see, OneDrive gives you a good amount to start with of storage. And if you want to pay for additional storage, it's cheaper really than the alternatives. Those of you that use Dropbox may be thinking, well, yeah, you start with just 2 gigabytes in Dropbox, but if you recommend Dropbox to a friend, you very quickly can get more storage. And that's true. Microsoft's OneDrive, though, has the same option. If you recommend OneDrive to friends and they accept, you get bonus storage, and so do your friends. If you've been a Windows SkyDrive user in the past, you can simply click Sign In to sign into what used to be your SkyDrive account, and you will basically activate your OneDrive account. If you've never used Windows SkyDrive or OneDrive, you can click the Sign Up button, log in with your Microsoft account if you have one. That could be a Hotmail account, it could be MSN, it could be a Windows Live account, any Microsoft account and password. If you don't have any kind of a Microsoft account, that's okay. You can click this link to sign up for a Microsoft account, which will then also give you access to Microsoft OneDrive. I do already have a Microsoft account, so I'm going to simply click and sign in. And since this is my computer, I'll check this box to keep me signed in. And this takes me to my OneDrive storage space. All my files and folders that I had in my Windows SkyDrive account are still here. And notice with the new Windows OneDrive, as they call it now, with 3 steps you can get a lot more storage. You could back up your photos automatically if you have a smartphone with a camera. You can opt into that and get an additional 3 gigabytes of storage. Next, they want you to sync from your PC or Mac, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. And then step 3, you can refer friends to use OneDrive. If enough of them accept, you can get up to 5 more gigabytes of storage. I'll click Get Started. So now that I'm signed in or signed up for Microsoft's OneDrive, you'll see that I have different folders that I've set up with documents, pictures, different things that I want stored in the cloud, and I want access to them on any device, anywhere that I am. And now on any computer in the world, I could go to OneDrive.com, sign in, and I would have access to these materials. For example, this photo I can access wherever I want. When I select the photo, it gives me some options for sharing that photo. I could set up a link for people to click to get this photo to be able to access it, or I could share the photo to specific people by typing in their email address here. I could add a quick note and click Share. Notice that I can set it that these documents or photos are only viewable, or they could be editable. I can also set it so that the viewers don't need to have a Microsoft account to see the photos or documents, or I could force them to have a Microsoft account in order to access these things. And I could just click Share. If I need to, I can download any of these documents that I might need. I can simply go into these folders and select a document that I need to download, and very often you'll see a download button toward the top that you can click to download the document. Now, one of the other great things about OneDrive is that not only can you upload documents, so that you can access them wherever, but you can actually create documents. In this way, it's somewhat similar to Google Drive. I can go up to the top and click Create, and of course I can create folders to store and organize my documents into. But I can also create a Word document, an Excel spreadsheet or workbook, a PowerPoint presentation, and all of these other things, even an Excel survey. And I can create them here in the cloud on my OneDrive. Now, those of you that use Google Drive are thinking, oh yeah, we've been able to do that for years with Google Drive, and that's true. But the difference is that these are Word documents. They are PowerPoint presentations. They're not imitations of PowerPoint presentations or imitations of Word documents. And there's just something to be said for creating a Word document using a Windows product instead of making a Word document using a Google Drive service or some other alternative to the Microsoft products. So I could click, as an example, PowerPoint presentation, and it takes me to what looks like a limited version of Microsoft's PowerPoint. I can click to add title, I can click to add subtitle. They very much tried to make this similar to the real Microsoft Office. I can add multiple slides, I can insert pictures, clip art, shapes, I can put in some limited transitions and animations. When I'm done, I can actually present from the web without having the actual Microsoft PowerPoint program installed on this computer. I could click View, Slideshow to start the presentation. When I'm done, I can click File, and there is a Save As option that allows you to download this PowerPoint presentation to your computer, at which point it would open right into PowerPoint. It's recognized as a full regular PowerPoint. So that's one of the really nice things about Windows OneDrive. I'm going to X out of my wonderful presentation, and I want to show you now how to set up syncing with Microsoft OneDrive, because if all OneDrive did was allow me to upload and access my documents and videos and pictures wherever I am, and also to allow me to create documents in the cloud like PowerPoint, Excel, Word documents, I would be pretty happy. That would be pretty cool. But OneDrive does more than that. It allows you to automatically sync between devices so that files that I want to sync will be on my phone. They will be on all my computers. They will be on my tablets that I have and any other devices that I want them to appear on. So let's take a look at how to set that up. In the lower left corner, you'll notice that there's a link that says Get OneDrive Apps. I'm going to click that. It takes me back to the front page of OneDrive. So let's take a look at how to install OneDrive on a Windows 7 machine. And this would work pretty similarly on Windows 8 or in older versions of Windows. Going to the Downloads page, I would just select the version of Windows that's appropriate for my own computer and click Download OneDrive for Windows. I'll save it to my computer, find the download, and double click on it and click OK. I need to verify that I want to run the installer and give OneDrive permission to install on my computer. This will install OneDrive, and after a few moments it takes you to this screen where you can get started. I'll sign in to my Microsoft account. Notice where it's going to put my OneDrive files. If you want to change that, you can. I'll just click Next, and then I have two options to choose from. I can have it sync all my files and folders that are in my OneDrive onto this computer, or I can only choose specific files and folders to sync. This is an important choice. I'm going to stick with this. All the files in my OneDrive will be put onto this machine. But just keep in mind, if you choose to do this like I am, it will take up more space on your computer. So some people choose only specific folders to sync to a particular computer. I'll click Next, and next I have an interesting option. If I leave this checked, if I realize later that I wish I would have put something in my OneDrive folder, but I forgot to do so, if I leave this checked, I will be able to pull files from this computer anyway and access them on my other devices through OneDrive. You can see now what it's done. It's added OneDrive down here to the notification area, what they used to call the system tray. And it also opened a window so that I can see what's in my OneDrive. I'm going to close that and in fact, I'll close out of all of these things, and I'll just give you a sense of how OneDrive will work for me from now on. Let's say I turn off my computer, I come back tomorrow, and I want to access files and folders that are in my OneDrive. All I have to do is go down to the notification area and click on this Show Hidden Icons button, and there is the OneDrive icon. And I could just click on it and go from there. But I use OneDrive enough that I don't want it to be hidden. I want it to show up here in the notification area without having to click. So I'll click Customize, and notice if I browse down the page here, it shows all the things in my notification area, and I can select the Microsoft OneDrive to show, and I'll click OK. So now OneDrive is not hidden. It's always going to be visible there for me in the notification area, and that's what I want. So anytime in the future when I need to access this, all I have to do is click on it and click Open Your OneDrive Folder, and it pulls up my OneDrive folder. I could drag anything I want into there, and it would be synced to all my devices that have OneDrive installed, whether that's a tablet, a PC, a Mac, a smartphone, really just about any device. Also notice that OneDrive has been automatically added to my favorites. So anytime I'm in Windows Explorer, I can access the OneDrive very easily and quickly. So I hope that you'll check out OneDrive and get a lot of use out of it. I've found it to be a very useful service. So if I go ahead and install OneDrive or SkyDrive on my phone, on my tablets, they will all be linked and synced together with the documents that I put into that SkyDrive or OneDrive folder. Those of you that are Google Drive users or Dropbox users, I would recommend that you not ignore OneDrive. It is a great service, and there's no reason to limit yourself just to Dropbox if you're a Dropbox user. Use OneDrive as well. I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. Please do, and you'll be able to learn about other educational technologies and watch more of my tutorials.
All right, so that was the quick tutorial for OneDrive. And the sources I used, Mastering OneDrive, there is a book only on Kindle, and the references there, and then the 2 references for the Excel survey, and then the reference for the OneDrive. Both of those are there if you would like to use those as well. So that concludes this portion. Next, what I'm going to do is go out actually to my OneDrive, and then we'll take a look at what that looks like. And so what I like most about the OneDrive is everything that you have there is yours. Now notice in the earlier presentation he was using icons. You can easily switch back and forth between the icon view, which will show you what's in each of those, or if you prefer less visual, you can use the list as well. And so it's whatever you prefer to use. What was nice about the earlier presentation is he showed you and reminded you to keep using folders to keep that nice and clean, because it really does help to make a folder and then put everything in. So going on the right side, we have our files, the tab over there, and then we have anything recent. So if you're looking for something and you want to look at your recent items, photos, we have a folder there, anything shared. So if I send something to Mary, she's going to look in her shared box. That's where it will come in. And then I can click that and I can also share. It has a recycle bin, and then it tells where I'm synced with my PC at home. And then I can get that OneDrive app that he talked about, because that's the important thing. You want that to download that on your computer, because it will appear on the right side, and then you can customize, as he said, just doing a right click and customize and make sure that that cloud is out. So then when you sign on your computer, you can just click on the cloud, and it's just a step that makes it a little bit easier. Now, the thing that's nice is at the top, it's really so simple as well, comparatively. So we have a delete button, a download button. If I have a file and I want to send it down to my computer, I just click the download. I can click a share button. I can click an upload button to take something from my computer into my drive, or I can create a new document, and that means a new Word, Excel, PowerPoint. OneNote is great. It's a little note taker, or an Excel survey. So this is where you would go for something new. And then if I wanted to do an upload, this is what's really wonderful. As soon as all I did was click that upload button, and once I click the upload button, the dialog box opens and it says, where do you want to upload from? So I'm going to go to my documents folder, and I'm going to look for the training resources that the students use here. And if I open that folder, I can then take like an Excel file, or I think they have Microsoft Word, also Word 1 and then Word 2 from the classes here. I could go out and get a Word document, and I'm going to look in this, I think I'm going to take this master walkthrough, and I'm going to click open. So I've clicked on the file, I click open, and the name of that was, it said one file uploaded. So now I'm going to pull down, and that was called Master Walkthrough, and there it is. And then if I want to open that file, there it is, and it opens it for me to see. If I want to edit this document, I could edit. This is such an important distinction. When it says edit, do I want to change something on this file? I can edit in Word, or I can edit in Word Online. Remember that the online means the one in your drive. The Word is, as we would always say it, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, that's on your computer. So I could work in either one of those. Okay, and then I wanted to show you, if I wanted to download a file that I've worked on. All right, here it goes. It says, do you want to open or save? And then we can click on that. If I want to save it, I'm coming over here. So I can save or save as, and save as open. So any of those. So if I click save, and it says the download has been complete. So then if we closed out here and went to our computer for the download section, we'd be able to look for 1.3 donate. So you can download, you can upload, you can share. If I want to take this file and share, as he said, I clicked on the document, and I can either get a link, which I can embed on my Facebook page, Twitter page, or I can invite people. So I would just simply key in their address, their email address, and then click share. Remember that when you have this recipients can edit, you want to make sure that you look at that and decide whether you want them just to view it or to edit it. So that's it, it's everything. Any questions that I can answer for you?
I'm just thinking, in Google Drive, when you try to send like an invitation to people, you can add all their email address in one group, right?
Yes.
Can you do that?
I would, yeah. So let's say that at work you have a group of people that you typically send to. You have that grouped somewhere. I would copy paste it.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions? Okay, all right. Thank you so much for attending.